has the edge in a one-game match.
Okay.
However, Pete Weber was there in the clutch, and if he gets loose, he can get that big strike ball working, but he cannot make a mistake like he did against Albee. Here we go.
Well, it's his ninth strike of the afternoon to open his second match against Walter Ray Williams, Jr., who has 22 titles, has never won a title in his home state of California.
Interesting. He's never won a triple crown event either.
No.
But everything in between has been his.
Boy. El Primo has left the 10-pin.
Nothing much you can do about that. When one round object hits another round object, they don't exactly react the same, and so this is part of the game. The solid 10, Walter will convert this easily. One of the best spare shooters this game has ever seen.
And we mentioned his 22 titles, Player of the Year 3 times, including last year. He has 27 second-place finishes.
Well, that's because a lot of times he's so good that he competes against the other players on their conditions.
Come on, get a strike. That's it.
You'll hear him occasionally. He is wearing one of the wireless microphones. Pete chose not to. Of course, it's their prerogative. Oh, yes. Hey, double. And now we go to Bo Burton.
Thank you, Chris. Mike Albee, the left-hand lane was the big difference in your match.
Yeah, it was. It was a little bit tighter down the lane for me, and I really had to keep it fairly straight, but I got that one a little bit too straight, a little soft, and broke a little sharp and big forward. But, you know, I was surprised to really keep myself in the match, made some good shots to get there, and Petey's bowling good, but he gave me some openings, just I couldn't take advantage of it.
I got you. How about this match where you got Walter Ray going hard and straight and Pete with a big hook?
Well, Petey's got a lot of confidence, you know, this year. He's bowling pretty well, and I think Walter's going to be tough no matter who he bowls. But Petey just stay away from the mistakes, just like that. So that's going to be Petey's downfall, mistakes.
All right, Mike Albee picked it. If he makes a big mistake, as Pete did there, now he got away with it against Albee last first match.
Okay, the second channel shot for Pete Weber. Had won the first game, but he still shot a .244 to defeat Mike Albee. So close to that outside. Give it more inside and left the 10-pin. That was in the third frame of our second match. If you just joined us, Pete Weber defeated Mike Albee 244 to 221. Drying out that hole. Thumb hole. Just beautiful and powerful. My heavens. Walter Ray, as most of you probably know by now, a 6-time world horseshoe champion, 3-time junior, and last week in Sacramento, he did his horseshoe act, and they said it was terrible. Where he usually is in the 90% ringers, he was in the 70s. And on the left. On Tuesday, he and Paige Pennington celebrate their first wedding anniversary. There's Paige. So smooth and effortlessly. So a good match here. Williams leading by a little over 20. You know, in the celebration of our 36th season, we'll be taking a weekly trip down memory lane. Now, this week, we really flash back to the first ever broadcast of the PBT on ABC Sports. It was May 13th, 1961, on the third episode of Wide World of Sports. Now, I must tell you, as you can see, our coverage has changed over the years, and as you can tell by this scoring technique from the past. This was at Paramus Bowl. Back again at Cal Bowl in Lakewood, California. We're into our second match. Pete Weber, in defeating Mike Albee, earned the right to go against Walter Ray Williams Jr. and Pete with a 20. Yes, he's trailing by 21. He's up on the right lane. A high hit, and he is plagued by the 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. Oh, goodness. We had the 4, 6, 7, 10 earlier. Now this. Look out. Well, Bo, after a channel shot and now an open frame, take over.
Pete Weber's in trouble. Parker, you've been in trouble lately in the last couple of years in the championship round. The opponents have been averaging 234, and you only 216 for the last 12 TV appearances. Is that going to continue?
No, I think today it's time to turn it around. I'm going to better my opponents by 30 pins a game, so I'm going to go out and make my ball talk.
All right, he's ready to turn it around, Chris. Back to you.
Okay, and Pete at the line nearly crumbled. A shaky shot, but it's still that big strike which he really needed in the 5th frame. Walter Ray Williams now up. He has a spare working for him, shooting in the 5th frame.
A lot.
Boy, was that on the edge. Oh, break. If you wait long enough in life, the breaks will come your way, even in bowling.
That wasn't very good.
Well, as Paige Pennington kind of thinks that's a comical, but I'm sure Walter Ray appreciates this break. As the bucket standing, the 2-pin falls in the 5, the 5 and the 8, and he has a simple 4-pin. With this conversion, he'll have a 32-pin lead.
Come on, don't be playing sloppy ball. Come on. Back in the pocket.
Chris, we've been somewhat prophetic in this match in saying that the straighter shot works better under the pressure of the championship round. Walter going right down the first board, has everything under control.
Okay, coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, it's special performances from the NutraSuite World Challenge of Champions, Innsbruck, Austria. Plus, from Poland, World Singles Distance Speed Skating Championships, the men's 500, the women's 500 and 1,000-meter races. Top American Christine Whitty will be competing. And on the Wide World Classic, Willie Moss's dramatic finish in the 1982 Ironman Triathlon. What infinite variety on Wide World following us.
Talk about infinite variety. Look at Pete Weber's last 4 frames. He's been in the gutter, been in the nose, been in the pocket. Once again, he's high on this right-hand lane. He needs to make a major change in order to stay in this match. And I suggest 1 or 2 things, Chris. When I watched him practice, Pete has the speed and the ability to go out and play the shot that Walter Ray's playing. Down that first board, Pete is excellent at that shot. Would he take a complete gamble and go for it or stay inside with the big hook? His decision. Let's see if he has made the correct one. He's staying left with the big hook.
Coming up high, leaving the 3, 6, 10. Sort of not all together right now.
Well, Tracy, tell your husband to go outside and play the outside line. He still has room for 203.
All right. Good do it, Pete.